Hi, thanks for coming to my channel. I'm your Everyday Joe. Today, I'm going to be unboxing this beast here. This is the Ninja Foodi pressure cooker and TenderCrisp air fryer all in one. Now this thing here is pretty heavy. I would say maybe about 30 pounds, 25, 30 pounds or so. It's pretty big here, but I've been watching some of the videos online, and I've been reading some of the reviews. This thing here seems to do pretty well. And anybody who's been following this channel for a while, you know that I've been doing a lot of air frying in my power air fry oven. I still have that. In later videos, I'm going to be doing side-by-side comparisons on the air fryer aspect of it, and some pros and cons with both. So keep an eye out for those videos soon, probably in the next couple weeks. So let's get to unboxing this thing. Let's take a look first what we have. Just some normal pictures on the side here. You have some information here. It says pressure relief valve, pressure lid, reversible rack, which is kind of cool. I'm dying to try that one. It also has a basket, a crisping lid, which looks like it's attached. It kind of stays on the unit. Then there's a secondary lid here. That's the pressure lid. Also, it says 14 levels of safety. Oh, that'll be interesting. Pass rigorous testing. Oh boy, let's hope so. If any of you guys do have this, again, put some comments at the bottom. Let me know what you do, so we can match up, and I can learn how to use this thing. I've never used a pressure cooker, so this is going to be interesting. But I have used the air fryer, different style air fryer, but I have used that. And steaming, I've done steaming in the past. You can check out some of the videos. I'll link them in the description below. So I'm going to get my knife and open this up. And again, this is a pretty good sized unit, so don't have much counter space. We're going to see which one's going to compete for what space, whether or not this is going to take the place of my power air fry oven or not. But I am kind of curious to use all the features of this, so let's keep unboxing here. Oh, okay, what's this? This is the cheat sheet. You got a cooking cheat sheet here. Basically, just quick recipe for food information. Let's just tear into this, because I mean, let's face it, we're not going to save any of that. All right, so you have your Foodie TenderCrisp pressure cooker owner's guide. Pretty beefy guide. It's probably multiple languages. Yeah, you have French, English, and Spanish in here. So it goes through all your settings, everything you need to do to operate this thing. All right, pretty basic. Now this is what I was looking for. This is your Ninja Foodi pressure cooker cookbook. This is your cookbook. It's actually a pretty nice cookbook. It's got nice pictures, full recipes, settings. So I'm going to be dying to try a few of these, match them up with my other air fryer, and we'll see what kind of concoctions we can come up with here. So I'm going to be looking forward to flipping through that. Here's the cheat sheet here, and it looks like it opens up. Basically, get to know it, how to use it, what the lids do, slow cooker settings. So it's pretty basic. Basically, how to cook 101. So that'll be good to flip through when I'm bored. So, okay, some packing material. Get that out of the way. Wow, this thing is big. It's big here. So let's take a look here. First thing that comes out of here, we have, looks like the pressure lid. It's all taped down. It's pretty heavy, pretty beefy. It's not cheaply made. It feels like it's stainless steel on the inside there, but it's pretty heavy. It's a pretty heavy piece of equipment there. All right, let's get rid of that. Next, coming out of the box is the grill, or the grid here, which is kind of unique. I've seen a lot of people online, here on YouTube even, use these things. It's reversible, so you can stand it up this way here, closer to the heating element, or this way here, closer to the bottom, further away from the heating element. So yeah, I'm going to see what kind of things I can come up with on this. Yeah, it looks like almost like a turkey rack. Yeah, you can lift it in and out. So this will be interesting to test out. Okay, so more packing. And we've got cardboard. We've got the main unit here. So I'm going to put this box on the ground here, and we're going to pull it right out. So here it is. Okay. All right. So let's take the plastic off. Got the power cord here. It looks like the power cord is probably maybe 2.5 feet. Very short. I wish they would make them a little bit longer. Not everyone has outlets, you know, on a countertop or nearby in an available space. So anyway, let's see about getting this thing open. So this just opens right up. Doesn't look like there's any locking mechanisms or anything on it. All right, more packing material. More packing material. Here's your basket, which if you do have a basket type air fryer, you'll recognize this. The only difference is there's no handle. So this just slides right in. And it's got this, this cool looking unit here. Looks like a diffuser of some sort. Yeah, that comes off probably for easy cleaning. Also, this helps diffuse the air. If you look at it, it's kind of angled very specifically, probably to get the air to move around. Once it comes down, it bounces and kind of rotates up, gives it a little spinning action. So that's actually kind of cool. I like that. So put that there. Okay, more packing. Now we have the pan, or the main cooking sleeve. Looks like they sealed this one. Open that up. So this is not bad, not bad. You know, it feels like probably some kind of stainless steel, and it's coated with some ceramic coating. It's also got some measurement gradients on the inside here. I'm not sure if you can see that. So it's not bad. And let's see what we have inside here. Now this is quite the unit. If you take a look in here, say if you see in here, you see this button here. That's a pressure switch, which I assume that when this is sitting on there, it will activate the unit. If you don't have that pan in there, it won't activate. So you definitely have to use this pan, even with this basket here. The basket would go inside here. So otherwise, it's not going to work. So it does have a safety feature there, which is good. Other than that, you have if you have an air fryer, you recognize this unit here. This is your heating coil, and with a fan in the background there. The coil gets hot, blows the air out, blows the air out there. All right, so let's close this up. It looks like it's got a little venting area up here. Okay, let's take off some of this tape here. Oh, looks like it's got removable handles. Not sure why you would need removable handles. Or this might be a catch tray of some sort. Yeah, it looks like it's probably an oil drip tray or condensation or something. And that's right in the back here. Looks like that's what that is. You have your vent here, same as your air fryer ovens. You have a place for the hot air to escape. Get some venting along the edges here, and obviously the top here a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of strange, but it's probably, that's what that is. That's probably some kind of catch tray. All right, put that in. You got your handles for easy lifting. Okay, and that's pretty much it on the mechanics of it on the outside. Kind of looks like a mini R2-D2 machine. You know, put some wheels on it. It's like R2-D2. We follow you around the house. And maybe I can get him to sit on my Roomba. What do you think? So So that'll be interesting here. So we're going to look at some of the features in the front here. And again, this is kind of heavy, so you probably don't want to keep moving this around. Put this on the countertop, put it somewhere so you don't have to move it. So let's take a look at the front panel, the control panel of the Ninja Foodi. What you have first on the top corner is the temperature control, where you can increase or decrease your temperature. The next icon you see is the blue steam, which is telling you to use the steam lid or the pressure cooker lid. The next icon with the red lines is the TenderCrisp lid. Next set of arrows, you have the time setting. You can increase and decrease the time for cooking. And keep in mind that that doesn't take into account the time to get things up to steam or up to temperature before you cook. So that's just the time at temperature. Now in the function section here, you have pressure, you have steam, slow cook, sear, and saute. On that line there, every selection that you make on that line is going to activate the blue steam lid. So that's the lid that you want to use. So those two indicators at the top are going to indicate which lid you're going to use. Now on the second line, you're going to have the TenderCrisp section. Obviously, you're going to be using the TenderCrisp or the AirCrisp lid, which is attached to the unit. You're going to use it all for air crisping, bake, roasting, and broiling. You're also going to use that for dehydrating. So that's also part of that second line. At the bottom line, you have the keep warm. That keep warm you can activate anytime when you want to stop your cooking, or when the timer ends on your cooking cycles, that keep warm will stay on it and it'll start counting up from 0. So your time at temperature will count down, and when that's done, you'll get a tone and your keep warm will come on and start timing up. Now the big silver button in the center is your start stop. That's just to start and stop your cycle, whether it's air crisp or pressure cooking. And the last button in the bottom is the power button to turn the unit on or off. Pretty simple, pretty basic. So we're going to I'm going to plug this in, and we'll take a look and see what kind of noises it makes. All right, so now I've got everything put aside. I've also taken out a couple of pieces of chicken. I'm going to give this a try, but before we try that, just going through this cheat sheet here. First time pressure cooking. Now, I'm a newbie at the pressure cooking side. I haven't done any pressure cooking at all, so I'm going to follow these steps here to see what happens or what the process is. Okay, it says to add 3 cups of water into the pot. This is the cooking pot here, and you always want to make sure that this is in there because of that pressure switch we talked about earlier. So we slide that in, pour the water in. All right, then it says lock the pressure lid. Take the pressure lid, make sure that this rubber seal is all pushed in, because that may pull out, as it does form a little bit of a vacuum, I noticed, when there's nothing in the pot. So I'm going to put this on here. Now on this lid, and I don't know if you could see it here, right at the top, and right over here, there's arrows. They kind of point to each other with an arrow going to the side for the direction. So you want to slide that on, make sure it's down, and then lock it in. So now this is ready to go here. So it says turn the valve to seal. On the top here, you have your valve. It kind of flops around. So there's a seal over to the right side, my right. So put that on seal. And this little red button at the top is the venting system that the pressure builds up. It'll seal that, and it'll build up the steam pressure on the inside. Right, so now we've got the sealed, got that on the valve on seal, got the lid locked. So it says push the pressure button. So the pressure button is that first button here. So we're going to push that. Okay, select high. So I'm assuming high is on the temperature side. No, where's the high button? Okay, here you go. All right, so by pressing that, it gives you the high, and then you can control the temperature here. So when you have all the lights on, you really haven't activated it. You can tell I'm a complete newbie at this. So that's your pressure. Set the high. Set time to 2 minutes. So now here's the time section here. So we're going to back that off. It starts at 10 minutes. We're going to back that off to 2 minutes. And then when we're ready, we can hit the start stop button here. So hit that, and you'll see the chasing lights. The chasing lights mean they indicate that it's building up, it's getting to temperature. So when the chasing lights stop, the timer will start, the 2-minute timer will start. And then we'll see how long it takes to get to temperature. And I'll see you when that gets to temperature. We'll see what happens. Okay, you can see some of the steam coming out now, although it's sealed. When that button pops up, that's when your timer will start. So as you can see, it's still building up the steam. So you'll see when it gets up to temperature, you'll see that button here seal and the steam stop. So your timer should be starting shortly. Okay, and I don't feel any heat on the top. Obviously, stay away from that. So it's no heat at all here. Just a little bit warm on these vents here, but not that warm to just barely, not warm enough to burn you. So hear a click. Okay, another click. There goes the timer. So it took about a minute from the time that the button sealed, the vent sealed here. It was about a minute's worth. It took probably about 4 or 5 minutes for it to get the temperature before it even started the timer. Okay, so you can see, there's no steam coming out here. This sealed, the vent sealed. The button popped up, so the timer started. We got about another minute or so. So what the instructions say here for the first time, just to get used to this, and I'm also using this to give it a kind of a cleaning cycle. Get the steam in there. It'll help clean out any bacteria. Then I'm going to wipe it all down afterwards. When this is done, it says we're going to be using a quick release. And what I found by reading through the material and seeing some of the videos, there's 2 types of releases. There's a natural release and there's also a quick release. The natural release, that means that the vent is going to be sealed and it's basically going to cool itself at its own time. It's just whatever it takes for it to cool down to temperature. And then your quick release is you flip the vent to vent here, and you'll see the steam just escape here like crazy. So you want to make sure you're not putting your face in the way. And that says done. Okay, so now if you let this sit right now, it'll be doing a natural release. And it says, it looks like it's set to keep warm automatically, and it's also timing, letting you know how long it's been sitting there. It's good to know in case you forget that you've got food sitting in here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a quick release. So again, we're going to hit this valve. We're going to move it over to vent. Okay, so now, you can see the timer and the keep warm here. So now for the quick release, we're just going to move this from sealed to vent until that button goes down. So you want to be careful and just slide that over, and you can see it. It's kind of releasing. So basically there's a little lip over here. I'm not sure if you could see it. There's a little lip. You want to make sure that this here sits on top of the lip, otherwise you're going to be holding it by hand. Okay, we're about a minute and a half in before that drops. So if you look at the timer here, it's about 2 minutes. Started that about a minute and a half in there. So it's almost there. Okay, so that when that drops, the pressure in the unit is done. So it escaped. So now it's safe to open that up. The vent is open, the steam has escaped, and the button is down. Now it should be safe to open here. So we're just going to turn that to off. Okay. Okay, so that's off. So now we can, it's easier to turn. When it's pressurized, you can't turn it. It's very difficult, nor do you want to try. It's very dangerous. So we unlock it. You hear the sound. And you also want to open it away from you. Don't open it towards you because the steam will rush into your face and potentially, cause you some burns. So nice and easy here. Here. Okay, you see all that steam? So it gave it a nice cleaning. It gave it a steam clean here. Excellent. So we're just going to put that down here. Okay, so that was the first time pressure cooking. This is my first time ever pressure cooking. I think that that was successful. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to clean all this out, and I'll bring you back. I got a couple of chicken wings that I just bought today. Nice fresh small chicken wings, they're little drumettes. And we're going to do a pressure cook, a quick pressure cook on it, probably for a couple of minutes. I'm going to follow the instructions here. And then go into air fry to see how crispy they come. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and I'll bring you back at that point. All right, now that I've got everything cleaned up, what I decided to do is make some buffalo chicken wings. Now, I was reading the recipe here, and I had already pre-prepped these chicken wings anyway. So obviously not going to be exactly to their recipe or to their instructions, but we are going to use the basket here. It says to use the basket. And what we're going to need is about half a cup of water. We're going to pressure steam first, or pressure cook first, and then air fry. Let's see how it come out. Okay, I'm going to put the water here at the bottom. These are my sriracha buffalo wings. I just use a little bit of garlic oil, salt and pepper, real simple. Just basically for the test here. So I'm going to put the wings in here. It's only 3 of them. These are pretty chunky wings too. All right. I'm going to take the basket, slide that on, and if you notice I'm using the diffuser, keep the diffuser on there. That's going to lift it above the water. Okay, so slide that in. Okay, then it says to use the pressure lid. So we're going to take the lid, line up the arrows here, and you want to make sure that seal is pushed all the way in. When you clean that out, you want to make sure that pushed all the way in. It was a little tricky, but you definitely have to get that in. Otherwise, you're not going to have a seal here. Okay, so we're going to lock that in. I'm going to turn the power on, and it says pressure, so we want to hit pressure. Pressure to high and set for 5 minutes. So pressure's on high, set the time to 5 minutes here, and hit start. So we want to make sure the vent is put on sealed. Otherwise, all we're going to be doing is steaming the chicken. Again, well, I don't think it would matter, but we want to test out the pressure cooking first. So put the seal in. This is locked. You got time, set to high, hit start. So in case you haven't realized here yet, on this channel, we don't always follow all the rules. We try to create our own. This is to me, this is a suggestion. So as a suggestion, I do modify as I go along just to make things easier for myself, and hopefully it will help you guys make easier meals and faster meals too. So we don't need this book. We have our own book, as you can see here. I'll put links in the bottom. So in the meantime, we're going to wait for this to come up to temperature and the red valve to pop up. When it's done with the 5 minutes, I'll bring you guys back. We take a look at what they look like. Then I'm gonna probably use the grill rack that goes in there because I want them closer to the heat. I just want them roasted, so we'll be using that. So when you come back, we should be at that stage. All right, so now the 5 minute pressure steam is done. You can see it's timing down and it's on the warm. So it says to do a quick release. So we're just going to slide the valve over to vent and make sure you lift it. And you do get sprayed a little bit, so be aware of that. So this will probably take about 1.5 minutes or so, 2 minutes it took last time. So what I'm going to use this rack here. Instead of keeping it in there, I'm going to put them on here because I want to get them closer to the heating element of the air fryer. So I want to get them nice and crisp, seeing that I was pressure cooking fresh meat which is probably really softened it now. It did say in the manual that that recipe for the pressure cooking was for frozen wings. So I know I break the rules. It's okay. I'll figure it out one way or another. Okay, so the pin went down. Okay, we're here. We're going to turn that off just to make sure that it's off. Again, I don't trust brand new units. I always have to test them out a little bit. So open that up. Okay, you hear that little snap. That's the seal that it makes with that rubber seal there. And you can see that seal had actually pulled away a little bit. So we'll have to push that back in. So I'm going to take that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these wings. Okay, and I'm going to just put them on this rack here. And it looks like they're pretty well cooked anyway. But we're going to crisp them up now. What I'm going to do is put on a glove here. So I want to grab that inner basket and like this. Okay. And move that there. Okay. So now there's still liquid in the bottom there. I'm just kind of curious to see how the air fryer is going to deal with that. So we're going to take this and we're just going to slide them down like that. All right, so we're going to put the air fryer top or the air crisp top down like that. Power it on. Okay, so we have that on at 390. I'm going to boost that up to 400. I like working with high temperatures. And we're going to give this about 10 minutes. I think it said, about 15 minutes. We're going to go about 10 minutes because they're already steam cooked. So they're probably already done. So I'm also going to test the temperature about 5 minutes in. So let's hit the start. Whoa, this thing's like an airplane. You can hear it buzzing. So you can hear how noisy it's going to get here. See, I got my microphone here. You can kind of hear it. Okay, there's a little bit of air circulation you can feel up here. It's not warm or anything. You know, on the back here, obviously the vent in the back here, that's the heat, that's the exhaust. It's actually blowing hot air back here, so be careful, walking by that or putting it up against the wall or anything. You want to make sure you have plenty of space, 5-6 inches around if you're going to put it on your counter somewhere underneath some cabinets. You might want to be careful with that. I'd always suggest to pull it away. Pull everything away from the counter, away from the cabinets if you can, or use a counter without any cabinets on it. So we're going to let this cook for probably another 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll give it a peek, take the temperature, flip them over if need be, and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. This thing's giving me some vibration. You can hear the difference. I mean, the fan is spinning, but when I take my hand off of the lid here, it's giving you, I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, and it might be the grill that's in there, or the actual pot might be wiggling a little bit. So let's open that up, and yeah, you can see the fan is still blowing in there. So you definitely want to use the handle to open this up. Don't open it up this way here with your fingers on the inside. It's definitely very, very hot. So you can actually take a look at these now. I mean, they're roasting up nicely, even if, since I pressure cooked them. Actually look really good. I think another 5 minutes, these things are going to be perfect. So I'm going to take temperature on one of these here. Okay, we want to be at about 165 internal temperature. So I'm just going to go right into the thick part. And this is reading, yeah, it's definitely there. It's about 165, 166 now. So, and that was the thickest one. But what I want to do is I want to get these a little crisper. So I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. So when you close it, it actually starts. It stops the timer when you open it, and it starts again when you close it. So it's a nice little feature. It knows that. One of the issues I do have with this though is that racket that's in there. So So I don't know what's causing that, and it might be the pot. You know, it's just hitting up against the grill, maybe. So that might be it, because it wasn't doing that earlier. And there is a little bit of vibration there with the fan. So we're just going to let this finish up here. Yeah, the top is very cool. There's no heat at all on the top. So, but it is coming from the vent back here. So if you're going to, again, be very careful with that back vent. So it looks like the rattling slowed down a little bit. So I'm going to let this finish for a couple minutes, and then I'll give it a taste test and make sure that they're as crispy as I expect them to be. That I get out of my other power air fry oven. So we'll check back in a couple minutes. Okay, so we got about 5 seconds left on here. Should stop. Okay, looks like the rattling kind of died down a little bit. So now it sounds like it's speeding up. So it's probably cooling the coil down a little bit in the chamber. But the motor in there is pretty powerful. I mean, you can definitely hear that thing roaring. So let's open it up and take a look here. Yeah, oh yeah, they look really, really well done. The fan, you can see inside, it's still spinning. But the chicken looks done, looks good. So just gonna take that. And because I steamed them a little bit, they're not gonna actually crisp up all that much because of all that moisture that's still in there. And I left the water at the bottom there. I didn't want to take that out because a lot of the basket type air fryers, they say put a little bit of water at the bottom if you're using greasy foods or sauces that are air frying, so when it burns they won't cause any smoke, or it'll minimize the smoke on that. So there's a little tip for you if you're using a basket type air fryer. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting into the chicken here because it's still a little hot. It looks like it's fully cooked, definitely fully cooked. I think the steam helped it cook better, but you're not getting the crispiness of the air fryer because I went ahead and steamed them first. But they are fully cooked and plenty soft, juicy, not dry at all. Really nice. So let's take a look here. Let's give it a little taste. Not bad, not bad. We'll get a little spice there, that sriracha that I put in there. Definitely gives you a little kick. Yeah, no, I think it did a pretty good job. Not as dry and crisp as I want. Again, that might be my fault, but it did cook them all the way through. So if you're gonna do that, use that method, it seems to work. Seems to do its thing. So far, what I see on this unit here, very nice, very well built unit. Very easy to learn, but there is a little bit of a learning curve, especially if you're like me and you haven't done any pressure cooking or air frying. I've done plenty of air frying. It's just the pressure cooking I haven't experimented with at all. But it seems to be easy enough. It's just a matter of time, temperature, understanding what you're cooking, and I'm sure that their manual, their book here, and their owner's manual is just going to help clarify a lot of things once I can sit down and go through it and read it. But overall, I think the unit holds up pretty well. I'm going to be testing a few other things again in the next couple of videos, or at some point in the next month or so. I'm going to have some side-by-side with this and my power air fry oven. We're going to do some air frying together and see which one crisp up better, time, temperatures, basic side-by-side versus test. So you want to make sure you check those out. Keep an eye out for those. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll get notified when those come out. Hit the little bell icon, that'll give you notifications. Give me some comments, give me some information on how you guys do it, what you guys pressure cook, what you guys air fry, if you have a foodie or have intentions of getting one. Again, everything I've used here, everything you see me using in the videos, I'll put in the descriptions for links. You can check them out if you're in the market to buy any of that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.